You could be an employee at a company and absolutely love what you're doing because your purpose in life is making people smile, giving people compliments, like that literally raises people's vibration. And that's what I mean by having a mission. This podcast is a tool for me to be able to utilize my voice and send it out into the ethers and see who is there on the other end to receive my voice, my experiences, my teachings, my perspective, with the goal of creating more alignment within whomever is listening. I don't know about you, but April for sure has been a doozy, energetically speaking. And I felt compelled to make this fourth solocast episode. By the way, welcome. I'm your host, Joanna Rosenthal, and you're watching the Coherent Collective podcast. I felt compelled to make this episode about the importance of understanding and holding true to whatever your vision is amidst these really turbulent times. Now more than ever, as I mentioned before in the past, we need more authentic voices, aligned voices, whatever you want to call it, to come speak from the heart and act upon the heart. With these shaky times, we have options of staying in fear or out of love or neutrality or out of apathy and disassociation. But my understanding and my belief is that the more that we look inward, the more that we understand what action we need to take in order for our outer reality to start matching our desires. There's a lot of distraction that is going on right now. And that happens through media, that can happen through conversations with other people that we know and seem to care deeply about. It can happen in many different ways. But what I understand and understand is that the more that we connect with our mission, and again, our mission can mean many different things, right? It doesn't mean how we act upon our mission, but are we running our show utilizing our core beliefs and morals in whatever we are being tasked with in the moment? For example, my goal is to help people utilize their inner compass in a grounded way to leave the world a better place than when it's been left. And by better, I mean more harmonious. And that's that. Am I doing things in my day-to-day life to make that happen? Here is a step for you to consider. If you do know what it is that you're envisioning as your purpose in your dream career or what have you, is your current life mirroring all of those potentials in whatever way you can? But what I mean by that is, like, let's say my goal right now is to make this a bigger speaking platform for the world to hear, right? And frankly, it is a goal of mine. What am I doing now outside of this podcast to facilitate marrying that reality with where I am at now? This is a fresh podcast, right? So what is it? I'm exposing this video to as many people as I possibly can. On my day-to-day, I wake up and I am envisioning what it looks like to carry that goal, what it feels like in my body to have an incredibly successful podcast. Because the mission behind it feels very aligned and true to me. If you don't know what it is that you are hoping to achieve, what presently are pain points in your life that you know you don't want anymore? It could be something as simple, and I'm saying this relatively speaking, right? because I think that when, for example, I've recognized that I want this podcast to be incredibly big, or my version of successful is reaching as many people and helping as many people as I possibly can using my voice as wisdom. But like back pain is not necessarily simple, but back pain is a very apparent problem that could have an immediate solution if things are done differently, right? So you have to know what it is that you have in your life that no longer serves this greater vision, and move through that challenge. But collectively, what I am hearing and what I am feeling is that there has been really tumultuous waters that we are moving through, right? But picture like, a board that's on a wave. The board somehow manages to stay afloat. For the most part, it manages to stay afloat. And all of the waves can rock it, but it still stays above. Are you doing what you can to match that? Are you shedding what isn't necessarily helpful to you right now? Are you creating new spaces so you can go inward and recognize what it is that you want to do? Listen, you could be an employee at a company and absolutely love what you're doing because your purpose in life is making people smile, giving people compliments, like that literally raises people's vibration. And that's what I mean by having a mission. So, for example, this podcast is a tool for me to be able to utilize my voice and send it out into the ethers and see who is there on the other end to receive my voice, my experiences, my teachings, my perspective, with the goal of creating more alignment within whomever is listening, because more alignment leads to different actions, it leads to greater harmony. I mean, I know for sure the month of April brought up a ton of surprises, a ton of dissonance. And if I'm experiencing this, I know I'm not alone. Are you leaning into the fear? Are you leaning into taking on other people's stories? And is that distracting you from taking action from the heart, from your mission? Wherever you are distracted, I beg of you to pause. We need more people to focus on whatever the inner calling is. We need more people to start taking action as a result of whatever your inner calling is. If you don't know where to begin, look around you and see what you don't resonate with. Whatever you don't resonate with, work towards shedding. It doesn't necessarily mean cutting people out forever. It doesn't necessarily mean stopping eating that thing forever. But what I'm insinuating is that the more that you give yourself space from whatever is creating that friction, the more that you have the space to sit in new, and new energy creates new opportunity to experience something that could be for you to do differently. If you don't remove yourself from the things that are bothering you in the moment, or if you don't do something differently to work through the things that are bothering you in that moment, then the harder it is to connect inward. We are not being asked to seek anything outward right now, because utilizing the devices around our phone, sure, it could create inspiration. But if you catch yourself constantly scrolling and disconnecting from your inner compass, you're not allowing yourself to act on what you were here to do. I can assure you that. Too many people right now are focused on what isn't available versus what could be available if we band together, but in order to band together, we need to start grounding ourselves inward. I cannot emphasize enough how powerful you are, how much your wisdom is needed. We need you, and we need to be able to utilize you and your voice and your wisdom. But it's important that you connect to that inner wisdom first. Go in, give yourself the space to experience the discomfort of it, cutting out the external noises and going in so you can hear the whispers. And again, if you do not understand what I am saying, what you can do first is clear out the noise, clear out the things that bother you, the people that bother you, and understand that no matter how deep the story goes to the people, to the environment, that makes it incredibly difficult for you to do what I'm asking, understand that it is a story that is wrapped up in whatever we choose to do with it. Everything in this world, that in our experiences, comes down to the choices that we make based on our belief system. For some reason, this video is asking me to be a mother right now, and like a stern mother. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because we've had a really rocky month and now it's time to be like, wake up, babies. We need you. Now's your time. And believe me, on the other side of doing this stuff, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. There is down the line more opportunity than you can even imagine. Take what I said, sit with it, and see what resonates over the next handful of weeks. Try to go inward. Try to create that space. And I will see you in the next episode.